What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thank you, everybody, for supporting. This video, though, is entitled The Gillette Commercial Fallout. People are tripping over this commercial. I looked at it. I looked at one of them. And there's a few things that come to mind because I pay attention to a lot. Nuance. Now, there's a male part in general, and then there's a black male part that I got to touch on. So let's get to the male part in general. It's about toxic masculinity being promoted through a razor commercial, right? That's part of what it is talking about. And what guys are like, what does shaving have to do with toxic masculinity? Just asking, like, because for one, guys don't really watch commercials like that anyways. So part of this backlash is you really gotta go all the way to a razor commercial to try to promote this, which people are talking about it. So that's, you know, obviously you reached a certain demographic, but this shaving and quote unquote being misogynistic are like, you don't realize how crazy of a reach that is. So this is part of the fallout. Little small tidbit about it that was funny though. It was a bunch of people in the commercial who didn't need to shave, didn't have a beard, didn't have much facial hair at all. You know, and I'm not just, you know, I'm not talking about just not the kids, you know, but just if you're gonna have a shaving commercial, at least have some, like, have a 5 o'clock shadow or something in the commercial, right? At least have, you know, a goatee in the commercial, right? You know, so guys, when they see we see small stuff like that, it's like, hey, I'm not taking you seriously. You got a shaving commercial and you got people in there who don't need to shave. Now, I saw the commercial about the chubby dude who was singing, who was effeminate. Like, what did he really shave? This is why people looked at it like, are y'all crazy? Like, y'all really crazy. Let's just scratch the fact that the guy's effeminate in general, right? And he's the antithesis to being manly. He didn't even have facial hair. That's problematic. You know, you can't promote a razor with people with no facial hair. Like, anyway. The other thing. You know, the quick little messages and dog whistle messages. They're just letting boys be boys. So the boys are rolling around, wrestling with each other, just letting boys be boys. That's an evil thing now. You know, father saying, but let boys be boys when they're being boys playing with each other is an evil thing now. To the point where it's so bad that we got to put it in a shaving commercial. As if boys don't grow out of just wrestling with each other in public and playing with each other like that in public. That's where this stuff doesn't make sense. Like, you don't see grown men going around wrestling each other like kids. Unless they're at a family reunion and they're harking back. But you're not going to see two guys who don't know each other just, like, not going to happen. The other thing about the approaching people, you know, I saw the thing, smile, sweetheart. Okay, I remember that article. Stop telling women to smile. I remember that one. The guys, hey, saying hey, say it in a creepy way so to make the commercial work. Okay, I get that. So don't approach these people. Now, here's the problem with this stuff though. This is why if you promote men being men as toxic, this is how you have these situations where men just stop approaching people. They stop talking to people. And where the promotion of men being toxic goes wrong is this: when men stop being around people who call them toxic, those people usually search men out. So this is what men have been talking about for years. Men can't have male spaces for men, because what happens when men get together and say, you know what, let's go to our own space. Then if I'm in my own space, I can't be toxic. Bam, no problem, right? Because it's no interaction with both genders when it comes to that part. Because then it's like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't. No, men can't be places by themselves because they're men, and then it makes no sense. Because what guys in certain ways are saying is, if we can't be ourselves by ourselves and you interject, we're not the toxic ones. Because what's happening is every time we're doing something on our own, somebody wants to come along and fuck with it and fuck it up. Because they feel like that's their right. So this is the problem. This is also a problem with it, because if being a male is toxic to society, when males say I'm stepping away, no problem, then that's toxic too. You can't say somebody's toxic when they're around and say somebody's toxic when they're not around. That's absolutely ridiculous. Now, the blackmail part about it that cracked me up was, in the commercial at hand, is with the Me Too and this, that, and the third. Black men have been promoted as sexual predators. That was how the movie industry started with Birth of a Nation. Okay, so this promoting black men as sexual predators is nothing new. But here's the twist. So in this little commercial, you got black men telling other men not to be toxic. You got Terry Crews talking about men need to hold other men accountable. And you got a black father talking about boys will be boys. And if the first image starts with a black dude, darn near Idris Elba lookalike in the commercial in the mirror. So in one instance, the first face you see of being toxic is a black man, but then during the commercial, people fighting against toxic masculinity are black men, but you're promoting black men to be the most toxic, misogynistic men on the planet in everything else. This is a problem. Because, and what I mean by, when guys were approaching women in a quote unquote in a bad, creepy way, it was black men interjecting in the commercial, like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Now, either art is imitating life or life is imitating art. Which one is it? Because we're Jesus and Satan at the same time, right? And brothers notice this all the time. We notice this. Like, it's not really a big deal. It's a big deal, but it's really not a big deal. Because now what you're saying, because the walking scene about Smile, that harkens back to the cat call video, which was a setup. See, people forget about that. When they had the Jewish couple walking around New York saying white women were always harassed by men, but they was going to black neighborhoods and they forgot all of the footage about the white neighborhoods. That was just a mirror image of that video. And some people, sometimes you forget about things consciously and you don't realize they're in your subconscious. And to me, that was just a subconscious ode to that, And when the guy approaches the girl and the guy comes out of the restaurant, stop. The guy's at the barbecue, and the guy comes in the middle. Hey, that's not cool. Now, here's the problem with these things combined. Since men can't evolve, because when you take from from the childhood, the boyhood to manhood, since you're promoting, in a sense, men can't evolve to be men, because being a little boy is toxic, being a teenager boy is toxic, being a young man is toxic, and being a grown man is toxic. There is no evolution. You're evil regardless, right? Then the guys are going to check out. Same thing about, when people get mad and they label MGTOW as a hate group. MGTOW, in essence, is talking about checking out a society. If there is no benefit for me, if I'm the bad guy with no benefits, but you need me for everything, then I don't need to be here. Like, I'm bad when I'm helping you, and I'm bad when I'm not helping you, and I'm bad when you're benefiting, and I'm bad when I don't let you benefit, then I'm bad regardless. So this is not a situation built for me anyways. Do it yourself. And before I go, I gotta say this. Part of the other issue is, I think guys, how can I say, effeminate men and gay men moonlighting for speaking for heterosexual men is part of the issue also. That's part of the fallout and backlash. Y'all don't like women. Y'all don't approach women. Y'all don't want to be in relationships with women. So why are you talking for straight men? We could do that for ourselves. But to try to be to intercede for us when we didn't ask you to, because you're trying to promote something, not really, nobody's feeling that part of it. I think this is part of all of the reasons for the backlash and fallout. So that's just my opinion on this. We out. Peace.